T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Let's get ready to sucker! It out into left field. It's going. It's going. It is gone. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Power Hour. This is Paul with you, joined by Matt, Quinn, Mr. Wonderful there with the mustache, Jeffrey. Anthony's in the house. Mikey Max here, and back from Florida to make all the ladies happy is Jamie Thompson. How's it going today, guys?
Hanging in there.
Great. TTIF, buddy.
That's right. Well, it is a free-for-all Friday. And since it's a free-for-all Friday, I am your host. So DJ's off today, got a meeting somewhere, so we'll let him do his thing, what the boss man does. So I'll be the host here today. I have a couple topics, but obviously it's a free-for-all Friday, so we can talk about really whatever we want to. First thing we can start off with as, Michael Page chimes in here, not only about Poe running the 40, gets me every time. Great job on the game last night. Q and Jeff. So Quinn and Jeff, along with DJ and Matt, they were all down there at the Penn, Ohio game. Quinn was the cameraman. Jeffrey doing color. Coach down there giving some moral support. And DJ was the play-by-play guy. Guys, how was that game last night?
Man, what a game.
Yeah, good.
It was, everything you would hope an Ohio game to be. Back and forth battle, comes down to the last minute. Just a great opportunity for a bunch of young men to wear their school colors for the last time on their helmet and wear the Ohio jersey and do Ohio proud.
Jeff, how was it being the color guy last night?
It was crazy. there was a bunch of big plays that Ohio made. They had a couple interceptions, a fumble. I think Marco Ferri was at one point 2 yards into the end zone when they were backed up after stopping Pennsylvania on 4th and 1. But he was 2 yards in the end zone and busted like a 61-yard runoff. It was just crazy to watch, like how like it swung, and then Pennsylvania made a clutch play, picking it off and having the INT go all the way for the touchdown, for the game-winning touchdown. So it was a crazy game.
And we speak of the host with the most. There is DJ joining us from the car.
Full house today, boys.
It's a free-for-all Friday.
Who's Uncle Jesse and who's Uncle Joey? That's all I want to know.
I think I'm Uncle Jesse.
We have Uncle Purvey,
right? Because he's the ladies' man. So
yeah, that would be Uncle Jesse. Uncle Purvey is right next to him.
So interesting, boys. I just got out of a meeting, and I don't know if anybody's heard about this yet or not, but right across from Firestone Farms in Columbiana, very soon there is going to be a new athletic facility available to athletes of all kinds, and it's going to be called Athletics, which if you follow Scene Park Baseball, you know that Athletics are one of our teams that we cover, and yeah, with an X. So I just got out of a meeting with them. We're going to start doing a lot of stuff with them, knowing that we've been friends with the Wardles for a long time and haven't even met each other, which is kind of crazy. So I just got out of a meeting with our friends over at FCA as well as the Wardles, and guys, this is going to change the way the kids train in the off season, and the Wardles are spearheading this. This is gonna be awesome. I mean, there's gonna be Rapsodo for baseball. There's gonna be batting cages. They're going to try and host basketball tournaments, which we're going to try and help them. Quinn, you're going to be a big part of that. I already threw your name out there for that. This is going to change the area in a big, big way, guys, and I could not be more excited about this. I got their blessing. I have their look. Just a quick peek. Like that's their blueprint for it. Anthony, don't even try.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. I drove by today, and all the beams are laying down on the ground, and I mean it's, Sean's been talking about it for a while. We've kind of kept it under wraps, and he's excited. They are super excited about this thing exploding.
I'm stoked. Like we're sitting there, and he's talking like because Sean is a high energy guy, right? And that's same here. So we're going back and forth, and we're just getting each other more pumped up. And we're in a Panera, so like we didn't even have coffee. So it's one of those things where I cannot wait. You can feel it in the air that we are turning into just Sportsville, USA here in the Youngstown area, and I couldn't be more excited, guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be big. Sean and them live out in the South Range area, and I've known Sean for a really long time, playing softball with him and his brother Barry, and he's been just super excited about this. He's like, this is coming. He goes, we're building it. He goes, it's going to be awesome. He goes, there's going to be so many different things. Like you said, the training facilities there are going to be state of the art and top notch stuff for kids to go to, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Jamie, how are you getting people from West Virginia checking in on you?
Honestly, I got no idea. We had to drive through there going down and back, so maybe they caught my license plate. Did some little magic there. I did have my shirt on because I was driving. So
yeah, no picture on that one, but I mean they're like, hey, good afternoon, Michael, Jeffrey, Jamie. They say they're from Glen Oak High School, and they were down at Patterson Field last night watching the game. So
Glen.
Yeah.
Shout out. Hello.
Yeah. Billy saying, yo, fellas, what's going on? Sigler.
Jeff, what's the name of where the Potters play?
You're trying to. I don't remember.
They literally just said it, Jeffrey.
I'm sorry. I was
Patterson Field.
Yeah. Me and DJ before the game upgraded Patterson Field a lot. By the way, Patterson Field has like 50 pieces of tape on there. 50 pieces of tape trying to get the flag to hold up. There's 50 pieces of tape on the press box, by the way.
Yeah,
That
Jeff,
was
rumor is it says you wanted fish at the concession stand last night, caught from the river.
Yeah, there was this it was just awesome. There was grilling, fishing. I did watch 60,000 hours of tape on the kid from PA. Had a right hamstring injury.
No.
That's why he kicked left-footed.
No. Don't even try to milk this. So he goes, I watched 60,000 hours of tape on this kicker, right-legged. He can kick it from 60 yards. Kid walks out, left-footed kicker.
I was like, has a right hamstring injury. So he told me before the game, hey, switching legs. I'm gonna go kick left. I'm like, all right, dude, man.
He made this whole story up on the fly.
Only
It literally like East Liverpool's field literally looks like Varsity Blues was taped there. I said that to DJ.
Because it's blue. Jeff
yeah.
correlates colors to movies.
I was like, Varsity Blues was filmed here. It has to be.
Because they have blue colors and they're blue and white. Okay.
Yeah.
Poor Jeff.
That's all right.
Oh man. Well, the couple things I had to talk about here today, and since we got everybody here, we'll start off with the big one. I was reading a story this morning about Ohio potentially letting kids who just graduated come back for a fifth year. It's a proposal that's going out to the House and the Senate. Kentucky is already allowing it, and they're talking about there being some proposals that and one thing I was reading here, it says existing laws do give Ohio school boards local control over governing their districts, but no language prohibiting or authorizing a voluntary re-enrollment. And it says that the Senate legislation would force them to allow it. So where this started from is some of these student athletes who just graduated are saying, I didn't have a normal year. This wasn't fair. We didn't get to play in front of full fans. My academics struggled because of having to learn online. I'd like to have another year and come back and play. And they are putting it on the books that possibly they could allow this to happen because, like I said, Kentucky's allowing it, and you are allowed to come back not only academically, but athletically. So what are your guys' thoughts on something like this happening, allowing these seniors who just graduated, they won't have to graduate again. They come back and it says they will have to take the same classes they took to get better grades if they want, and they'll have an extra year of athletic ability.
Yikes.
No.
I hate it.
Why would you want to go back? McNuggies,
Life's not fair sometimes, though.
You're on schedule to graduate in 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to go to school for a fifth year?
And take the exact same classes.
Well, I think
And here's
the
bigger problem. Here's the bigger problem out of all this is there's going to be 19-year-olds in the same school as 14-year-olds.
Yep.
Nope.
Like, I don't get it. I told you beginning of the show, it's the dumbest thing. It's going to hurt recruiting for college. Like, if you go back, it's a sole fact that you just want to dominate. Like, it's stupid. Like, Ohio, if anyone does this, if a kid does this, I got more power to you. But like, why? Like, why? Like, there's no sense. Like, you're not going to get recruited any better because you didn't
Jeff,
have.
You were in school for 5 years anyway. How did it go for you?
See, like, I want to go back now. Like, can I enroll back because of I didn't get a fair chance? No, that's not right. That's not right.
I'm just going to be a sophomore again.
I was going to say, we have one high schooler here on the panel. Mike, would you want to see kids who just graduated this year, class of 2021, if there's a couple kids that said, listen, I want to come back and I'll retake my classes again so maybe I can get a better grade, but also I'm going to play sports one more year. Would you want to see those guys come back, guys or girls, come back in down to Beaver Local?
The seniors that I played with this year on all golf, basketball, and baseball, I absolutely loved them to death. But no, I would not like to see them come back for their fifth year. And for everybody that wants to complain that online school was harder to learn, you got this thing right here to basically cheat and get every single answer in eternity off of. So there is absolutely no excuse for you to fail online school.
It's like, Oh, you're just saying that out loud.
Oh man.
There's no excuse for you to fail online school. That's just, I mean, with the 3 weeks that I did of online school, nothing really changed all that much. There was nothing harder to do, nothing really easier to do either. So if you failed online, you're more than likely going to go back and fail in person. Now, I can kind of see if you want to take the same classes again, because going through year of it, you have all the information basically archived, so you know exactly what to expect heading into the year. So it's basically a freebie through there. But to play sports again, it's just not fair, especially the seniors of 2019 and 2020, because they didn't get to finish their spring sports. They didn't get that extra year of eligibility. So why should you get an extra year of eligibility to play football, basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, whatever, again, when you actually got to play this season? And Billy mentioned it, actually. Life's not fair. Deal with it. You're going to have to go into the real world sooner or later. Don't delay it.
There's something in the OHSAA bylaws that you can't be a certain age and play. Correct? I know I've seen that before.
This would supersede it. This would eliminate that.
What's stopping us from going back? What's stopping us from going back and being like, hey, I still got a couple years of Ellie. Let's go.
Because we weren't there. This is only going to be a one-time deal for the class of 2021 to say that you can come back because you got messed up in your last year of school. You know, Chris Sigler puts a great point on it. This would be a nightmare for coaches. I mean, think about like some of the coaches you're sitting there. So you're planning on, okay, those guys are gone. I've got this group of guys. I've got these 3 classes and now my upcoming freshmen that I need to form my team with. And now all of a sudden you're going to say, well, here comes all these seniors back who want to play. Now you're essentially hurting all the guys behind you because they've technically almost lost a year, because now they're going to be sitting behind those guys who just came back again, who've already been there. And now they've got to sit behind them and not get to play. I mean, it's a nightmare across the board. Parents are going to be up in arms going, my kid's got to sit because this kid decided to come back for a year. You know, I mean,
if this would happen, if I was a kid and this happened at my school and I had my opportunity, this is my opportunity to step up and play, and this is my senior year, and that senior that played last year came back, I quit. I'm out. Because what's stopping me? Like, does that now that hurts me? Why can't I come back next year because this kid came back? Like, is that gonna go through?
And
like, is that why? That's not right.
And you could possibly run the risk of these kids, like let's say juniors heading into seniors. You have these seniors come back for their 5th year, and you run the risk of their parents, those students, saying, "Well, you let those kids come back, and it ruined a year of playing time for me. It ruined a year of." Ruined my senior year, basically. So why shouldn't I get that 5th year of eligibility? And then it just keeps rolling on class to class. It's a domino effect, and it just won't stop.
I think people are trying to see what's happening in college and copy and paste it. But the difference is, in college, you can keep going to school. There's a thing as grad school. There's a thing as taking your master's degree. So you don't have to come back. There's no grad school in high school. So I think people are just trying, they're doing it in college. Why can't we do it for high school students? Well, there's a difference between college and high school. And I think it's kind of silly to say, hey, come back and take the exact same classes, even though you already graduated. You might be able to raise your GPA a bit, and if you don't, well, then it's no big deal.
Yeah, that would be my question is, like, you have a kid go, because that's what a lot of these kids are saying. If I can come back and retake my classes, then I can boost my GPA, maybe get some more scholarships, help myself out going to college. And, oh, by the way, yeah, I wouldn't mind playing sports again for another year. And the one kid who brought it up, the kid who's like I don't want to say the guinea pig, but he's been the poster child for this, is a kid out of Wheelersburg. He's a quarterback. Like I said, he wants to play in college. Well, he wants to kind of boost his name so that he can get out there and play in front of more people and play in front of college scouts. And I mean, that's it's
called a recruiting video.
But
take your best highlights on a recruiting video and send them to colleges.
Like what Ant said about the grades, like what if you go back and you don't get better grades?
Right. Then you're really dumb.
Yeah, what if your grades are the same, if not worse? You know, I mean, and you went back for another year to try to do it. I mean, Billy chiming in there saying, he's got a bunch on there, but like, who cares about being fair? It's life. Go to junior college then, or prep school.
Yeah, go to a Joku. Don't go to a big name school. Go to a smaller school. Make yourself better there, and then transfer if you're good enough.
Matt, I caught that too. He almost said a Joku school.
Yeah, I know. I stopped myself.
JUCO.
Yeah, go to a Joku. Whatever it's called.
Go to a Joku school.
Oh, Jeff failed recess his junior year.
I did fail recess.
Listen, don't make fun of Jeff failing recess. I had to take summer gym class.
Hey, I failed recess too. Okay, it's not that big of a deal.
That's not. I failed one period too.
I just thought when I read this morning, I was like, this is just if they do allow this to happen, it's going to be Pandora's box, because you open this thing up, it's just going to be a nightmare. And I mean, I truly believe there will be kids coming back. But it's just.
Well, we talked about it like what if all of those kids that were seniors for Cressu come back? What if Michael Patron comes back? Like, what if all those kids come back? What if Mikos and Pancake want to go and try to make another run at a state championship for South Range of baseball? What is stopping them from coming back?
Yeah.
Like, now you're just loading up teams with kids that were really good last year and just loading them back up. Like, that doesn't.
Instead of taking the same classes, this is just popping in my head. What if a kid came back and went to the Career Center and worked in one of their programs for his, because you're allowed to do that until I think you're 22. If so what if instead of going and taking high school classes again, he went to the Career Center that's affiliated with his school and worked in trade classes?
Yeah. I mean, that could happen out there too.
That'd be like grad school almost for high school.
Yeah. I mean, it's what's that?
Like Paul and Matt, like how would that affect like you guys being coaches? Like, would you be mad? Or would you not be mad? Would you be like, "Oh crap, dude, we're screwed"?
That's like.
Well, no, not. You know what I mean? Like obviously, Coach, I know that you won't be screwed at Sebring, but like, would it be kind of like a wrench in the book and like fitting those kids back in?
Not a bit.
I'm selfish. Give them all to me.
I mean, Jeff, you hit on it right there. If you say, "Hey, being the South Range baseball coach, if you tell me that Pancake and Mikos can come back, and oh, by the way, guess who will be healthy by then? Jake Gehring. Gehring would be healthy. So Jake gets to come back now too. And then, our first baseman gets to come back. So you're telling me those 4 guys get to come back healthy on top of the team that we return next year as well? I would do it with big open arms and hug them all and say,
"Come on home.
Let's make a run here, fellas." And like DJ, what if they were smart? They'd take all CCP classes. That would be another question. They've already taken CCP classes, so some of these kids are leaving high school already going into college, basically a sophomore. So now, are you telling me they can maybe take more CCP classes that the school has to pay for on top of taking their English that they might need to take and or like one other class, like a math or something, and then they take all these new CCP classes? I mean, I think parents are going to be, where do I sign my kid up? Because you guys are saving me thousands of dollars in college. So, I'll let my kid be a 5th-year high school senior. It'll be interesting. And like we talked about before the show started, they're going to have to make decisions on this pretty soon. Because if these kids are going to come back or want to come back, especially fall athletes, Coach knows more than anybody. I mean, football started already. So if these kids want to come back for football or soccer or, girls for volleyball, cross country, I mean, they got to come back like next month.
No, for sure. I mean, you're right. Things have already started, even with basketball. You've got guys that are playing in summer league right now. So, to get a team acclimated to each other, it takes time. And so the decision's going to have to come down sooner than later.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Like I said, it's just been proposed. It's not anything that they're voting on just yet. They did just vote on another big one that I was going to talk about too. It's the Ohio Senate Bill 187, which was allowing Ohio college athletes to own the rights to their name and likeliness and get paid for it if they want. It passed through the Senate, went through the House. The House did add a little amendment to it, which has to go back through the Senate. But that part of it looks like it's going to pass with no problem. Are you guys for that? Are you guys for these college athletes being able to own the rights to their name and face and everything, and then they can get paid for it? So, Mike and Jamie, we haven't heard from you guys, and Quinn, you can chime in on this too.
I mean, I'm all in on it. I've been all in on it really for the last 3 or 4 years. I wrote like 3 separate papers on how I think college athletes should be getting paid. I mean, they're bringing in all this different money from, either just going out there and they have all these camps, even the kids just being there. You get a bunch of people drawn to the name. I kind of went through like March Madness. You guys think about it. I know, Quinn, you're a basketball guy. You think Gonzaga. That's a name that you and I know, and probably everyone on this panel knows, particularly from their college basketball program. I mean, without that, who knows that little school from Spokane, Washington? You're just not going to know it. So I've always been on that, especially Ohio State being my school that I love for football. If all these other guys like Alabama, Florida, just throw those out there, their dudes are going to get paid. That's an easy way to draw them away from Ohio State. Why would I want to be a Buckeye and make no money? And I can go play for Alabama and I can make money down there, give some back to my family while I'm in school. So whether you're with it or not, even if you look at it from a competitive standpoint, it's something that's going to have to be done, because if some of these schools are doing it and you want to stay up with them, it's just a change that has to be made.
Yeah, DJ chimed in there saying if college athletes get paid, they'll lose scholarships. Well, I think that's what this is saying, that they won't, is that if you're on a full ride, so let's take Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was on a full ride scholarship. Well, if Joe Burrow wanted to go get, Smith Chevrolet down the street, and Smith Chevrolet said, hey, we want you to be our spokesperson, he can go do that. And,
good people down there at Smith's.
Yeah. So now all of a sudden he's getting his money, because it's not going to be the colleges that are paying them. They are going to own the rights to their name and stuff, and they can do whatever they want with it. He wants to put it on a cereal box, on a pair of sneakers, candles. I mean, who cares? They're allowed to do that and make that money for it now. And looks like Ohio's going to pass it and let these kids be able to do that. I think what's going to happen is that you will see jealousy pop up in the athletics.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I think that by doing this, while I do agree that some of these players deserve to get paid for their name, image, and likeness, you're opening up Pandora's box. I mean, so you're going to have kids that, maybe the starting quarterback at Ohio State is going to be able to make a couple $1 million a year. Meanwhile, the kicker maybe only makes $150 an advertisement. So I think that you'll see jealousy rear its ugly head.
It's going to be great for recruiting, though.
Hey, I think that is what it is. I mean, quarterbacks, even at the NFL professional level, always going to be making that top tier money, getting those types of sponsorship deals. Sorry to the kicker, but I mean, that's life. And we kind of touched that on earlier too. Everything's not fair. Billy Mack said it. Mike McKenzie said it. That's just how it is.
Well, I think what'll be interesting to see is I think you'll lose the guys that college coaches aren't going to like it, because they're going to lose recruits. Because why would I go sit at that program when I can go over here and be the face of this program?
Yep.
and have the opportunity to make marketing dollars with Akron instead of going and sitting at Purdue?
Or they could be going to smaller schools too. You could see them saying, listen, I'm not gonna go sit, even bring up your point. I'm not gonna go sit at Akron, who's a D1 school, when I can go play at Mount Union, and Wally Armour is going to give me a car to drive, because I'm going to be Wally Armour's man, for their dealership. DJ chimed in saying, Smith Chevrolet would stop sponsoring the school. They would stop sponsoring and advertising with the school and just stick with that athlete.
They will. Yeah, they're going to go to the athlete instead of the school, because they can probably save themselves, a bunch of money too. Whereas, with the school, they were having to, donate towards scholarship money. you can just give it directly to the kid and say, hey, instead of having a $500,000 donation to the school, I'm just going to give you $100,000.
Yeah, because instead of giving all that money in this big pot, that you're going to sit there and say, hey, we're going to dump this money into University X, and this is all going there. But we get all these athletes from University X, but instead they could say, well, we're just going to go, hey, Matt, you're the quarterback. We're just going to give you $150,000, and you're going to be our spokesman outside of that. And, I think you're going to see – I think the jealousy thing is going to be huge, because how do you determine quarterback on the football team to a diver on the swim team? A diver on the swim team, who's going to approach them? The goggle people, the Speedo
like
people.
It or not, whether we like it or not, this is going to have tremendous Title IX implications as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if it will, because everyone has the exact same equal opportunity to go build their brand. I think it'd be Title IX if the colleges were specifically paying their athletes, but they're not. They're just saying you have the opportunity to go build. Everyone has the opportunity to do that, so I don't think Title IX would fit into that.
I agree with you to an extent, but we all know that the first time some quarterback signs for $1 million, the point guard at UConn's going to go, hey, why am I not worth $1 million? It's unfair that just because he's a quarterback and I'm the point guard for the UConn women's team, there's a disparity in how much we make.
But look at the WNBA and the NBA. What I mean? So they're both pro athletes, but LeBron's making way more than Sue Bird's making. So, and they're both just as equally important to their team. So,
but what I like about that is now, because there's not like a big professional sports model for the women, so now they have an opportunity to go make a brand in college and almost turn their college game into their professional sport, because colleges get some more attention than their professional avenue anyway. So now it's going to turn these college athletes into the opportunity to go build their brand before they even get signed to a professional team.
I definitely see both of your point. But what we're seeing already is, like, with the U.S. women's national team complaining that they aren't paid as much as the men's team, and the WNBA players complaining that their contracts aren't as big as the NBA contracts. They're trying to fight for more money for themselves.
But I think the difference in those arguments is someone is paying them. The same people are paying. Well, not the WNBA, but in the soccer, the real rub was the same people were paying the men as the women. Like the same exact people were paying. But now the women and the men have the equal opportunity to go make money however they want to go make money. And it kind of falls on them to build their own brand. So I don't know. I mean, of course, there will be people that complain, but at the end of the day, in my point of view, it's going to be on them on how they're building their brand. Maybe if Paige Beckers, the point guard at UConn, can't make as much money with a Nike contract, she can make a couple of contracts to kind of make that up. Go play with Nike, go get an Under Armour contract for her shirts, go get a Spalding contract for basketball, go get Wheaties, and multiply your income and build your brand.
I just think that we already see it in our society where everybody's lawsuit happy anyway. It just opens the doors to a ton more lawsuits to come.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come right back to this because I know there's a lot more to talk about. So we'll take a quick break here and show some of our sponsors here on YSN and be right back with the Friday edition of the Power Hour.
No matter what the weather, be prepared with a reliable, efficient Ruud gas furnace or air conditioner from MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. Call your energy-efficient expert, MP Vivo, today for a free estimate.
Here at MP Vivo, we rely on Ruud, and so should you.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Rain will come and go tomorrow. There'll be some dry intervals.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
60 years ago, Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods began with 3 siblings, a hand-set sawmill, and a few local orders. And while business has certainly changed over the years, what has not are our principles of hard work, craftsmanship, and commitment to quality. At Baird Brothers, we're proud to put our name on the products we create, from moldings and doors to flooring and lumber. Thank you for 60 great years. We look forward to 60 more. Baird Brothers, for the place you love.
And welcome back to the Friday edition of the Power Hour. Paul Munson here with Matt, Quinn, Jeffrey, Jamie, Anthony, and Michael. And what we're talking about right now is Ohio's passing. It's got to go back to the Senate, but passing the bill that will allow athletes to own their name, their facial likeness, everything that they need, so that if they can go out there and grab sponsors and get paid for themselves. And what we've been talking about here, Mark Roth brings up a great point. He goes, does this bring up the conversation of agents for these college players? You know, who's going to coach them on how to keep and get these endorsements? And we all know, you know, being sports fans that we are, that as a college player, you're not allowed to have an agent while you're an eligible college athlete until you either declare you're going to the draft, and then you can, you know, get somebody to help you out with that. That'll be interesting because, I mean, how do these guys go out there and get that? Like, how is the lineman going to go out there and get himself some kind of sponsorship? Or how is that swimmer, the golfer, the diver, somebody like that get out there and say, hey, listen, I'll gladly wear your stuff out and about, you know, because a lot of the schools will have their own sponsorships clothing-wise. You know, schools are Nike, Adidas, Under Armour. You know, there will be a tricky thing where you're like, listen, when you're on the field, you have to wear our stuff because that's the school rule. And I think they'll be okay with that. But as soon as they walk out of the gym or off the field, they're going to have whatever logo they have on their body from their sponsorship. So that would be an interesting thing to see how they were able to keep that.
It'll be interesting to see if the schools lose the sponsors.
Athletes show their sponsors, unlike the producer of the Power Hour today.
There's so many people. I don't know which one to go on to do that. If I do that, everybody on the bottom gets blocked.
Yeah, they're all gone. You know, but to bring the jealousy thing back up, and Coach, I know you'll agree with this, is, you know, how all of a sudden do you take a look at, and I reverted back to football because football is just like so easy to do, because 9 times out of 10, your running backs, your quarterbacks, your wide receivers, those are your stars. But we all know the guys that help them become stars are the 4 to 5 guys that are on the line there. So if the quarterback over here has got Smith Chevrolet as his sponsor, and he's getting $200,000 from them, but Matt here, who's my interior lineman, has Kool-Aid as his sponsor, and he's getting, you know, $10,000 to be the Kool-Aid man over there. Like, how does he sit there and go, why am I blocking for him and he's making $200,000? Like, maybe I miss a block.
If you're going to get jealous of that, then that's selfish of you. You got to kind of not get jealous.
But that's the point of this, is these guys can be selfish now. You know, they don't have to sit there and say, I'm going to get this money to help my team, because that's what the problem's been. The school has been making money off of the team, and these kids aren't, and they're the ones making the money for the team. Now they can say, I can make money for myself. So
hopefully the quarterback is smart and takes his lineman out to a steak dinner every now and then.
Or I was joking about it today when I was talking with, matter of fact, I was talking with Troy at Deluxe Motors. And it was
free ads.
No, he's been a sponsor. He's been on here. We just haven't renewed him yet. Matt, we're gonna get on that one. Is that maybe he says, hey, listen, talks to the dealership and says, hey, how about my linemen go help out and get them a lease? They all get a free lease. I mean, as being a former lineman, how would you feel with that? Like this guy's getting paid buku bucks and you're getting peanuts.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that you've got to create your own brand at that point. And I don't see so much of the jealousy factor being like, oh, I won't block for that guy, because at the end of the day, you still have to compete for your starting spot. You still have to, be good enough to be there. You have to make sure that, some coach like me isn't going to just jerk your butt to the sideline and say, hey, you don't want to block, sit down, because it's going to affect your bottom line and your ability to make money on your name, image, and likeness as well. So I think that, the jealousy becomes backseat to the idea that guys are going to take less chances to maybe go to a school to develop for a couple years and go to a place where they can make money right now.
I think one of the big things that is going to come out of this is, you guys have talked about like an athlete going to a dealership and kind of, getting a deal with them. So like our bottom line right here, Greenwood Chevy Austintown, say Billy Price, comes home and all of a sudden he's the poster child for them. I don't think you're going to see as much as that as near of like if you guys know the story of the UCF kicker who actually had to quit football because he was a successful YouTuber and, making money and doing that. He had to quit. I think what you're going to see is a lot of guys that are kind of coming out with their own merchandise, their own type of YouTube channels, like Trevor Bauer. His YouTube channel is huge now, just, going his day-to-day in the MLB. The huge thing is going to be their merchandise, building channels like that, be able to, stream on Twitch, just play games, get paid, sponsorships like that, YouTube and everything. I think it's going to be more self-centered than them, like, going outside and talking to someone like a dealership.
Yeah, and I think kickers, especially like the specialty players, they'll have the opportunity training programs. Kicker training with such and such. Catchers will have that opportunity. Skills are very to their skill set. The sport will have the avenue to go and make training programs for their brand.
To answer DJ's question, one, exactly one. As soon as it happens for one season, you're going to have the first group of high school kids that go, well, we deserve that too.
And I think that'll be harder, though, because, the college athletes are getting scholarships. They're getting money to be there at the school. Whether they see it or not, their parents sure as hell do, because they're not getting a bill in the mail for $10,000 a semester for their kid to be there at school. And a lot of those kids are coming out of poor areas, and it's an opportunity for them to better themselves, whether it be via the NFL or just getting a degree in general and getting out of a life situation for them. The high school kids, we know that high schools make money, but we all know who makes the most money out of high school right now. And that's a building down in Columbus who is raking in the money. The schools aren't making money hand over fist to where they're sitting there going, it's just raining money around us and we're making all this money off these kids.
Some of them are, though, and I'm not going to use any examples from here in Ohio or even in Pennsylvania. But if you look at like an IMG Academy or a St. Thomas Aquinas in Florida, they've got endowments that are the same size as some small colleges, and there's just a ton of money floating around there. And so the example that I would use is, you're going to tell me that a high school nicker Joey Bosa at St. Thomas Aquinas in Florida or IMG Academy or somewhere like that, couldn't potentially go to their local car dealership and say, hey, I want a lease on a car and I'll put my face on this. And by the way, when I go to college, I'll bring you along with me there too.
I think you would have to worry about with the age limit though, having a minor being a part of something like that. They're obviously parents would be happy to sign something like that for their kid to be a part of it. But then I just think, again, going back even to like our previous subject, you're opening Pandora's box if you let that get into the high school level. It says, there's a lot of Texas high schools, Brandon McPherson, Michael Page saying Bishop Gorman is one of those schools. Texas high school football, I don't know if any of us, I know myself personally, I don't know if anybody else on this panel has ever been to Texas to see a high school football game. I have some buddies who live in Dallas and they say they're from here and they've seen Ohio football and they live at Dallas and they say it's night and day. They're like, it is like a religion that they play.
there are now over 10 high school football coaches in the state of Texas that make $100,000 a year or more to coach high school football.
Yeah. Think about that. All you do is coach high school football. They're not even teachers. They're not teachers. They are strictly high school football coaches, and they're making over $100,000 a year. Michael Page saying, true, BMAC, Allen Eagles have a $60 million football stadium.
They do.
Yeah. I mean, the one state, I mean, you can go, anybody can go out there and go Google high school football stadiums in the state of Texas, and they are absolutely insane. Some of them are bigger than college stadiums. And now there might be 3 or 4 schools that share that one stadium, but still, it's a high school football stadium, and it's just ridiculous. And I mean, I don't know if it would be in Ohio. It might be something like California or Florida and Texas that you see some of those guys in high school getting paid a little bit. I don't know how that would be here. It would have to be some of the really, really big D1 schools that we have around here in the state of Ohio that would get something like that. I can't see, a kid from Sebring or a kid from South Range or a kid from, Hubbard getting, money to be sponsorship money for playing high school sports.
Well, unless it's Jamie Thompson.
Yeah.
I mean, this is true. I would gladly take, $100 to go ahead and wear a T-shirt around after practice. I'll do that easily.
Hey, don't tempt somebody. Jeff might make a shirt with his face on it and say, Jamie, wear this for $100.
Only if it has the stash on it. I won't wear it if there's no stash.
I would never, ever pay it. I would just wear my own stuff and then sell it. I would never pay someone.
How arrogant is that you're wearing your own stuff? Like, you got to give it to other people to promote you, Jeff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You got to buy it off of me. I wear my own gear, and then you buy it off of me. So you want this shirt with my mustache on it? It's going to be $50. There you go.
When you get free advertising with somebody like Jamie, who everybody wants to look at.
I'm not getting free advertising. I'm paying the dude $100 to wear a T-shirt.
Well, if you give it to me for free, then maybe I'll just wear it every once in a while.
Yeah.
No, you got to wear it all the time.
Every time he goes somewhere in public, he's wearing the Jeff shirt with the stash.
McNuggies, I want to give you $50 to wear a T-shirt that I designed.
I think I'll examine the T-shirt, but we might have a deal.
No. Listen, we're live on air right now. You got to say, I'm not forfeiting my eligibility.
Yeah, I say you're an amateur athlete if that happens, McNuggies.
Never know. How'd you answer these phone calls?
He was
done. All right, here we go.
How'd you answer it?
Hit call and turn up
you
6.
Hit call and turn up 6.
Hello, welcome to Power Hour.
There's nobody there.
Right.
Then why did you want to know how to answer a phone
Why did you
call?
answer the call?
There's nobody there.
If it's literally call, pick up, turn up 6. If you want to
That's
drop,
what I did.
I know. If you want to drop it, hit drop, and it drops them.
All right.
I got a quick drop button on
more you know.
On Power Hour.
That's it. A little rainbow,
going across the screen.
I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out in both of those situations here in Ohio about either letting kids come back for a 5th year and how these guys are going to get paid and own their likeness. I mean, I definitely think you're going to for sure see kids taking advantage of that. Whether it's like Jeff said, printing out T-shirts and stuff with their faces on it, and or mugs or hats or anything. And them getting the money from that and not being able to have to pay the school or the school getting that money as well. So I could maybe see sales at the bookstore going down for some stuff at the school, because now if, Matt is number 72 and that's the jersey that's been selling pretty good at the store, now all of a sudden this kid's going to say, well, I can sell it with my name on the back of it instead of just a plain number 72 and my name's on the back of it, and I can sell it a little cheaper and keep that money myself. So
that's another thing. Are colleges going to be able to do that themselves, put the name on the back of the jersey and sell that in their bookstore?
So you just hit
call.
Yeah, just hit call and turn up 6.
Yeah, that's a no.
I think
there's no way you're doing it right.
And
you push the button for 6 up.
Yeah, but you got to tune you down. Got to turn you down.
I did that.
No, we can still hear you talk, Quinn.
This guy's a stooge.
You're a sellout, Quinn. You're a stooge and a sellout.
But I think, Ant, to your point is by the kids owning their likeness and their name, the school will have to pay that kid now to do that if they want to do that. They just can't sit there and say, all right, I'm putting jersey number 11 with Miller on the back, and you're Miller, and you're going to say, no, like that's my name. You've got to pay me for that now. Where they could just say it's jersey number 11, and you just know it's probably Miller instead of it being Miller. That's where I think you'll see the big difference is they won't be able to do that unless, like Matt said, they give a percentage of money to that kid. He's going to say, that's my name. Go ahead and use it, but I want 25% of your sales.
Quinn is up there struggling right now.
Dude, I don't know how to answer this damn phone, and I don't know.
Hit call, turn up.
It didn't work, Jeff.
And turn down you, Quinn.
I did, Jeff.
He did. He was talking, and I couldn't hear him.
This worked for Jeff yesterday twice.
Yeah, 3 times.
I'm better than you.
Calls.
I'm better than
The last thing I had here on this free-for-all as I was writing up some notes is there's a couple COVID things out there still. And the one is for the PGA Open. It's going to be
all right, Jeff. Here, turn it down.
Are you sure there's anybody
Nothing.
calling?
Things lighten up. I don't know.
All right. But they were talking about the COVID for next week's PGA Open. And the first call yesterday was Billy, 100%, says Michael Page. They're concerned. They're having a lot of restrictions. They said that the players are not going to be able to share homes with any other players. They said they're not allowed to go to restaurants, pubs, grocery stores. They're going to test them whether they've had their COVID shots or not. They are going to test them on a daily basis. They're allowed to have 1 caddy, 2 support people, and 1 family member, but the family member has to be over in Europe before the tournament starts. And after all that, this is for the PGA, for the Open. And they said
that's overseas, Jack.
They're still going to let 32,000 fans a day in for golf and not test them.
But I bet they'll be confined to local fans. Like, it won't be fans coming in from out of the country.
But how, I mean,
this is for the British Open.
How could you stop that? But
Yeah, the British Open, right? That's what we're talking about?
Okay.
The Open.
PGA Championship.
Yeah.
No, it's the Open, the one that's overseas, Jeff.
Yeah.
The one that Phil can't win.
No, Phil can't win the U.S. Open. He won the Open.
You sure?
Yep. Look it back, buddy.
You got me, Jeff.
I did.
This is the Open Championship.
Well,
I thought they canceled that.
No.
I thought they tweeted out like they weren't playing the. I know they're not playing the Ryder. They canceled the Ryder Cup, I think.
Jeff, I just gave you all the restrictions.
I know. I heard it. That's stupid.
I mean,
we beat
I find it
COVID.
to be a little ridiculous myself. You're going to tell these guys you have to stay in your own house, which I can't see a lot of those guys. Maybe some of the lower level guys sharing houses, but your big guys, they have a house all themselves to begin with. But 1 caddy, 2 support person, and 1 family member. So 4 people you're allowed to have, and that's it. But they're going to say 32,000 people a day are allowed to come watch you play. But you can't have anybody else there besides those 4 people.
Pretty wild.
It's funny, one of the most socially distant sports has one of the most strict COVID regulations.
Yeah, I mean, and they say they're going to test them every day. You know, they're not allowed to go to pubs, stores, and restaurants. I mean, I guess my question would be, out of those 4 people you're allowed to have, are they allowed to go to a store to get you some groceries or something? Or is it going to just be delivery?
No, probably not.
In your same house.
Yeah, they're probably only strict. They're probably the same rules as the golfers are.
Why not just put ankle monitors on them?
I mean,
martial law.
I think we should just wear bubbles.
Just like those big
COVID.
The big circle ones that
I
you
wanna
see
get-
out there that people run into each other with when you're out in public. Just
I want to get Jeff and Billy Mack in the big hamster bubbles and watch them run into each other.
Guys, we beat COVID already. We beat it. It's over.
We still want to see you and Billy Mack go at it in hamster wobbles.
COVID's dead. We beat COVID.
You think, Jeff, but I know the Open's over there, across the pond.
Well, they're just
NC State baseball would like to disagree with you.
I was just gonna say
they just got hammered.
NC State just lost their shortstop and one of their bullpen guys, and it's College World Series out there in Omaha. So
I know,
I think they were down to 9 total position players and 4 pitchers.
So, they were testing everybody because they were pulling them straight out of the dugout.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, we are towards the end of the show here. It is our G. Rivik Farms. What's your beef? What's your filet? Jeff kind of reminds me of Bubble Boy now that we talk about it.
John Travolta and Bubble Boy.
Yes. So we'll start down at the bottom and reverse skate. Mikey Mack, what is your beef? What is your filet?
I'm going to go with a filet today, and it's Friday because, you can't beat Friday.
That's it?
Basic.
That's
That's it.
All right.
Basic.
And?
My filet as we approach the weekend is the YSN Softball All-Star to be having on Sunday. Everyone knows how much I love softball. I've always wanted to coach softball, and now I get to kind of scratch that some of the best players in the area on Sunday in our YSN All-Star game. I am so excited for it, and I can't wait for the draft tomorrow night.
So speaking of the draft, Ant, you got the first pick because Jeff made a deal with you that you get the first pick, but he gets to be the home team. Any ideas who you might be taking tomorrow? You're going to try to give any?
Well, wait. You'll have to wait till tomorrow at 5. I'm not sharing any secrets right now.
Yeah, we know who you're taking. Just say it already.
Where's Cap's
No.
all time?
You don't know? Okay.
I might come with the curveball.
That's right. So, all right, Jamie Thompson back in the house. Beef, filet, what you got?
I guess I'll throw it out. We'll go with the filet first. I went 3 for 3 yesterday at the old AA game, so I was feeling it. I'm all locked in, ready to go. Got to see one of my good buddies I played 16 with, so that was nice. But beef is, I'm back here in Ohio from Florida. Kind of missing it right now. Had a great time down there with my girlfriend and her family, so it was great. But, mixed feelings about being back.
Jeff, what is your – oh, look at this.
My beef is Jeff because he thinks home team matters in an all-star game. He's just going to give up a first-round pick.
And I hope he loses.
It was supposed to be a ping pong game today happening, and Jeff just gave up on it and said, I'll give up the first pick.
Well, because Jeff's a quitter. He quit on his beard, and he got a mustache, and now he's quitting on ping pong.
I don't think he wanted to get embarrassed by Ant. I think that was the problem. Ant was going to beat him, and he's like, I'll just concede the first pick. So, Jeff?
He's just a quitter.
My beef is with Billy Mack because he's a bald stooge. And yeah, that's it.
So before Billy came on the show, what would have been your beef or your filet? Because you're just doing that now.
That's the problem.
My beef is that I had to go to work today and get up early after only sleeping 3 hours last night. So
we do the beef every day, Jeff.
Yes,
every day at the end of the show.
I'm glad you show up for like 1 minute. Good job, Billy.
Well, I had to coach 2 games.
Did you?
I'm just outside Pittsburgh, so
all right.
I just got done.
Cool.
Michael Page, huge. Yeah, how'd your game go, Billy?
This is the same guy who cussed you out after coming to his aid the other day.
I don't care.
Not so good.
Quinn, what is your beef? What is your filet today?
I have a beef, and it's with whoever was calling like 20 times in a row. I can't answer the damn phone. I don't know how. I don't care to know how. Just text me, and I'll give you the link, and you can pop on here and talk face to face. It's easier. I'm not answering the phone ever.
Coach,
Quinn's never talking.
I'm not answering that phone call, Billy.
It wasn't me. I was busy.
I'm going to go with I've got a filet today, and my filet is just the Penn Ohio All-Star game last night. what a tremendous game. What an opportunity for YSN to be on board as the title sponsor. And, what a way for those senior football players to be able to end their high school careers. And, the ones that are turning towards college, we wish them all the best of luck. And the ones that got the opportunity to just strap up one more time, congratulations, you put on a show last night.
Maybe, Coach. Maybe for the last time. Maybe some of them will come back if they get the opportunity. Today, I have it's a fillet. It's a Friday fillet day. Had a great day so far. Just been able to get a lot of stuff done, and looking forward to the weekend. Just kind of being able to hang out. No big plans tomorrow, but then we've got our big game on Sunday, 7:00 up at YSU, the YSN All-Star Softball game. Last I looked, I think we have about 30 commits, so that's great. We're going to have a good turnout there with, like Anthony said, some of the best high school softball players around. So you get a chance to tune in.
Anthony by 100.
Anthony by 100. Billy betting on high school. Hey, this doesn't count as something we can't bet on. So there you go. You want to bet on that? Go ahead. But no, it's going to be a great time out there on Sunday up at YSU. So you get a chance to either come out and see it or tune in. It'll be right here on the network. So, Coach with the Go-Gurt.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with them, man. They're good.
Flavor?
This one is mixed berry.
Okay. I'm a strawberry banana guy myself.
I am too, but I've got a box of them in the fridge, so I just kind of reached and grabbed whatever.
I love, Coach, that you've got Go-Gurts at the house, and it's just you, right?
Yeah, 37-year-old man with Go-Gurt.
Hey, freeze some. You ever had them frozen?
No, I haven't.
They're really good frozen. You might have to try it.
Jamie's not lying here. Frozen is where it's at.
That's a good tip.
Might have to go throw a couple of those in the freezer, Coach.
On my way now.
There
right
we
after we wave the flag.
That's it. So it is the end of the show. We thank everybody for tuning in. Quinn, wave the flag.